Can you imagine real estate website powered by artificial intelligence? This is not science fiction anymore, but reality. Mr. Yuriy Setko, a realtor, programmer and developer of the website ITRealty.ca, revolutionized how realtors, buyers and sellers can now search and find properties in accordance with their desires. ITRealty intelligently analyzes the multiple listing service, MLS, a huge database that real estate brokers and agents use to list and find the properties. ITRealty.ca website tracks the price drop on MLS and thus helps to find so-called motivated sellers and landlords. In addition, the program draws data on real estate, which is not on MLS. It also gives historic analysis of the prices, which allows more precise appraisals. Although, ITRealty analyzes information not only from the MLS but also from the city plans in most municipalities for the construction of transport arteries, the schools' ratings, the ethnic majorities of the regions and from many other sources like Google Maps. ITRealty draws and analyzes the data from Statistics Canada. It has superb predictive power because it can show the prospective changes in property prices, which is perfect for the investors. It also contains information on new construction projects. Mr. Yuriy Setko invites other realtors to use his unique tool. He sets in place a comprehensive system which allows to form the fruitful partnerships. The site also has a huge leads generation ability.
Today we have our guest, Yuriy Setko. He has proposed an innovative method how to analyze the real estate market using so many different factors that usually are not available in existing analytic systems. So we would like to ask him about the details of his project.
Sure. This site that combines all these is called ITRealty. It stands for Informational Technologies for Real Estate, and the motto is real estate powered by artificial intelligence. So what it does, it uses the computing power and algorithms to analyze different data sources to come up with the conclusions, basically telling you that the properties are either underpriced, overpriced, the neighborhoods are good or not so good in terms of the rent, in terms of the future price growth, etc. Many different factors and components. We have over 8 different data sources coming to the system and analyzed, combined, and given you in a simple way to in front of your eyes.
Can you please list those sources that you use?
Some are APIs, different APIs. Some are
what is API?
API, Application Programming Interface. It means like, for example, IDX is a data feed of properties from Toronto Real Estate Board. It's one of them. Some of the sources, another API is Google Places, Google Maps, Google Traffic, Google Bike Routes, etc. Other sources have been analyzed and put manually on the map, so they don't exist anywhere else. For example, transportation routes for existing and some of the future BTR, BRT, LRT, trains and buses, future routes in different cities like Hamilton, Kitchener, Cambridge, Waterloo, Toronto. That city has plans to build in the next 25 years.
That's very interesting, but I also heard that you analyze the prices and their change to identify the motivated buyers, or motivated sellers actually. So how do you work on this?
Right. So we have different criteria for the buyers to search for the properties. Apart from the standard, just finding the property within this price range, and type of the home, for example, right? So you can search by, additionally, you can search by priced, dropped properties only. Interesting? I guess so. You can search by motivated sellers. So the site has an algorithm that would analyze every listed property the same day as it listed, searching for 8 different criterias in the property description, etc., trying to find out how motivated the seller is. Some properties might have 1, some might have 3, 5 criteria, so the more criteria are, the more motivated the seller or potential landlord is, so it's a more potential for you to negotiate the price if you're flexible enough.
How did you come up with this brilliant idea?
Well, I'm a data architect myself. I'm a computer engineer. I've been doing this for my entire life for other companies, but it happened that I've changed my business career and now work for myself, developing solutions like this. I had to become a realtor. I've been already an investor, so I knew what investors need. I knew what investors are looking for from their perspective. I've used my IT experience to design and to build a system. And obviously, as a realtor, I use the knowledge of the realtor from other side of the moon, if I can say it like that.
Right. You also told me how you tried a long time ago to figure it yourself without the power of the computing power of the programs with the pen and with the maps, and it was a nightmare, right?
Yes, 5 years ago, when I was about to buy my first investment property, I decided this is city of Hamilton. But city is big. It's a half a million population city. So where to buy? Where to buy? So I had to do this due diligence. I went to the internet. I bought a map in a Hamilton a drugstore. Bought a map, put it on the table, and with a felt pen started crossing out and and highlighting the areas that are good or bad or good. So ended up with the neighborhoods that I know are good and perspective in terms of the investments. So I was looking properties only in those neighborhoods, but it was a nightmare, right? I wouldn't do this again for any other city. Well, actually I did, but I wrote a program that can do this for any city now. Anyone can use it without that nightmare I had to experience 5 years ago.
So the factors that you include in your analysis include even the quality of the schools as well?
Yes, we have over 2,000 schools for 1,000 Ontario. Most with Fraser's Institute and AQAU ratings, and different types of schools, French, English, Catholic, public, etc. So basically you can search by the school, or if you find a property that you like and you want to check out what kind of school is nearby, and if this is a school with a bad rating, probably it's not a very good choice for you to buy as property-wise.
You have the ability of prediction how the property will perform in the short term and the long term. So how did you create this predictive power of your system?
Yes, I wouldn't say properties in particular, but the neighborhoods.
Okay.
The neighborhoods. So speaking of the neighborhoods, having sales data, we can go to the past and see how those neighborhoods performed for some certain types of the property. For example, downtown would perform differently for condos and for homes, because. And analyzing these data in different time frames, taken at a different point of time in the past, you can come up with information, pretty consistent information, how well these neighborhoods appreciated in price for the given type of the property. So if some neighborhoods appreciated consistently in price better than other, there is a very great possibility that it will keep going this way, and those neighborhoods will do it in the future.
Let's talk about comparative market analysis. How does this work?
Well, the same way, this is what every realtor does on a daily basis. Whenever, let's say, seller, owner of property wants to put his property for sale. First thing he wants to know is the price he wants to list this property for. So he will ask his realtor, likely. The realtor will go to his system, search for comparables sold recently, and come up eventually with a price for his client. So your property worth that much, let's put it for sale at this particular price. But what if there are not similar comparables in the neighborhood in a nearest future? What if a similar comparable was like 6 months ago? The market has changed since then. And
Or if the property has any particular features that difficult to compare with others.
true as well. But if the market is changed, and it happens all the time, it makes it very difficult to evaluate and come up with the right number. For example, look at the last time exactly a year ago. In April and May was a huge peak for sales. And then that government came up with a mortgage and rental rules, and the prices have dropped. Condos are recovered since then, but homes are not still. So if let's say if you were selling in June last year and taking comparables from April last year, that would have been a very big difference. This is just not possible to use. It's a garbage information. You cannot use that. So how would you come up with the right price? So what our CMA does, it would look back into the past, find very similar properties, especially well it works for condos because it's easier to compare same building, same square footage, same number of bedrooms, even same exposure if you want to compare south versus north exposure. It finds exactly the same properties, and we do a market adjustment taking where the market was back then when the property was sold. Let's say a similar condo was sold 2 years ago and a year ago. So it will look into the past, take that price, see where the market is today, and apply that percentage as a time adjustment to the selling price. So you would know for how much that property sold 2 years ago would have been sold if it was sold yesterday. So it comes up with a pretty accurate information in terms of the estimate, and it helps for both, for the sellers to come up with an idea of how much his property worth, and for the buyers, how much he should pay for the property listed on MLS. Is it overpriced? Is it underpriced? And the system helps find underpriced properties, by the way, too. And or is it just about right, the price?
My understanding is that there are different levels of access to your system. Can you tell some details about that?
Obviously, you can go to ITRealty.ca and shop for property as you do on, let's say, realtor.ca. Same functionality, same very nice user interface, fully mobile compatible. You can search it from your. In fact, almost 50% of our visitors are visitors from mobile devices. You can search it like that. But if you want to use features like find me properties that have motivated sellers, or find the price drop properties, or show me properties that are possibly priced below its real market value, you have to do 1 minute free registration. That's it. So you will open up a different level of access. However, it's not a full access yet. The full access to all the sweetest features of the site have either our realtors that stand behind and represent ITRealty, or the clients that we represent as realtors. So you work with us in terms of as a buyer or a seller, either way.
So you're inviting to cooperate realtors of all kinds, is that right?
Yes and no. We're looking for people who can think out of the box, who don't mind to take an extra mile to achieve a great result. For the people who are tech savvy and who are looking for something new. And those people would be able to utilize the power of our system. And yes, we do provide training. We do teach how to use the system, how to retrieve this information in a matter of seconds, the information that is not available simply anywhere else, at least in Canada, and to be credible in terms of in the eyes of your client, and to be knowledgeable about any neighborhood, even if you've never been to the neighborhood. You can find a lot just sitting in front of the system and doing the research with the power of ADA.
You also have the lead generating abilities as well for the realtors, right?
Right. So all those people who shop on the site, buyers who want to book a showing of a property, visit a property for rent, or interested in a property for sale. Yes, we get contact those people who are interested and contact us through the site. Basically, these clients, they submit a request for more information, and we respond. We try to respond as soon as possible, and depending on the location and type of the property, we connect you with the most knowledgeable realtor from our team, information-wise.
In terms of traffic, how big is your traffic on the website currently?
Well, the site was launched just over a month ago.
Oh.
Yes, and it's never been promoted, honestly. But however, we are getting traffic from Google, listings. We have over 50,000 pages already indexed, and it's already living its own life, even without single dollar spent on advertisement at this moment.
Right. When you say artificial intelligence, is it true artificial intelligence? Does your website really understands what it does?
Well, it's a good question. Can you tell me the difference between a rock and a rock star?
Well, it's a big difference.
Well, from my point of view, the difference is intelligence. Well, it may be questionable for some rock stars, but anyway. Anyway, it's intelligence. So the system can analyze data and come up with conclusions. Even more, it can do conclusions based on its own conclusions. I call this intelligence.
Probably with this unique project that you are developing, it can raise some interest in big players in the industry. Have you thought about that? Do you have any plans to cooperate with biggest players in the industry as well?
Well, first of all, yeah, we have quite a number of features that simply don't exist anywhere else in the world. I'm sure some of the big players would be happy to have these features on their sites, but there are two ways. As I say, what one man can do, another man can always do too. Everything is possible, but we are open for any negotiation, obviously, for those parties that would think that our technology would benefit or their technology would benefit ours.
Thank you very much for this very valuable information, and I believe that it can be a revolution in a way how we need to approach the analysis of the properties, both for fellow sellers and buyers and for realtors as well. I believe that those features that you have listed, they can be very beneficial to those who are interested in the properties. And like you said, this program will live its own life and will grow to benefit all. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Boris. I just wanted to add, a friend of mine, a yoga instructor, once asked me as a joke, Yuriy, I'm a fisherman as well, so she asked me, Yuriy, when do you cast fish, on inhale or on exhale? You know, yoga is all about breathing techniques. My answer was, you cast it when it bites. So there's always a different situation on the market. The market can go up, it can go down, it can be seasonal movements, it can be anything, but there are always good and bad deals on the market. So my job for you is to find those good deals, eliminating the bad deals, saving your time, and dealing only with those that are worth your time.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.